And away we go. Okay. I'm sure he'll hop in shortly. And again, this is being recorded and I don't know, maybe edited after all of this. All right. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. We've got some really powerful energies, and there was some stuff that I read from Lorna Bevan. She writes the Hare, Hare, and the Moon. It's a monthly newsletter that I get. I mean, I've read a lot of different astrology from what's going on right now. My friend Raquel Spring and Kristen, can't think of her name right now. I get a bunch of different, because I like to kind of take the bits and the pieces from everyone that I feel like align with what I'm experiencing and what I feel from other people experiencing. And then there's also like just the touchy feely pieces, meaning there is a lot of emotional energy coming up right now. It's just the part of the process where we're receiving tons of light, right? And depending, and I get a big full body yes on this. So, depending on what our spiritual practice is, right? I mean, that's a big piece to navigating what we're experiencing in terms of energy. We're really being asked to continue to step deeper into that practice. And if you've been lazy at all, I get it, because kind of when you get depressed or feel heavy emotions, you don't really want to do anything. And that's okay too, right? Give yourself a break is just as important. And then find your groove slowly back into what aligns you, what grounds you, what helps you feel safe and comfortable on the planet. For me, I have to get out on the earth every single day. If I don't, my central nervous system really doesn't do well on planet Earth at all. Really, like it's such a huge reset to get out on the earth, to be walking in nature, to sit down on the rocks and talk to them. And Finn, has to patiently wait for me while I do that, because we start our hike, we get to a spot, and then I sit and I talk. I put my hands on the rock. Sometimes I take my shoes off, depends how cold it is. And I need that time with Gaia, with the kingdoms, with really the all that is. Because once I connect with Gaia, everything kind of shows up energetically in my field, but I need her first. That's how I really get rid of static in my energy. I mean, the bowls have been a huge magic for me as well, using the crystal bowls, but not everyone's going to have crystal bowls, right? So cool, but everybody's got outside. Everybody has some place they can go outside, or a plant or a rock or something that they can connect with. Journaling, walking. To me, movement and somatic energy is very important for my body. I think it's important for all of us. But again, you know what your medicine is right now, too. So feel into your wisdom as I speak, because that's really the most important thing, right? I don't know more than you what you need. You know what you need, but it's also a matter of doing it, right? Oftentimes we can get stuck in the pattern of looping and feelings that are overwhelming, and it can shut us down. So it's really important to figure out what balance looks like for each one of us as we move through these energies. Because again, so when light pummels the planet, we're all like, yay! And then there's like this, oh, energy. Like, whoa, what just happened here? Because the light comes in and then the shadow is more deeply revealed. We're in duality in this moment. We fluctuate in and out of all kinds of consciousness, which is awesome, actually. But what can happen is we can get stuck in believing that we're here to be human when we're here to actually bring divinity into our human, so that we can remember. I talked about this a little bit on the equinox, right? We're this whole perfect divine being, but the human experience is completely fragmented, right? We have trauma left, right, and center coming into this planet and then living on this planet and trying to navigate what it means to be a soul. Like, how do you even remember to be your soul when you're just so stuck being human? And so it's those moments when we can clear the energy and just align into stillness. And believe me, if you think that my mind stops talking, it doesn't, just so we're clear. I'm not one of those who ohms on a mountain for 2 hours and then, floats around the rest of the day. I find the more light I bring in, again, the deeper my shadow is revealed because I can't see it until the light is being shined on it, right? You bring in the light and then suddenly you're like, whoa, hey down there. Okay, what do we do about that? And then it's just like, oh, we just love it, right? A lot of times we shame ourselves for this shadow piece. That's not what this time is about anymore. That's like old paradigm everything. The word shame itself is just old paradigm everything. It's like the lowest in the index on David Hawkins' Power versus Force when he talks about the different calibrations of like giving a measurement to emotion, right? Shame is like below anger. We don't need it. It's not necessary. There's nothing to be ashamed of because we're here to feel every single emotion. Every single emotion, we're here to feel it, like it or not. And so the gift that we can get from that, how we can participate with it and align with it, is to bring it into love. And if you're not ready to love that piece of yourself right now, that's also okay, right? The importance to know is that A, you're not alone on this journey. That's imperative. We're all going through this energetic unfolding, ascension, evolution together. And that it's time for us to really be responsible. And that's the part that a lot of us aren't used to, right? We're used to blaming others or situations or saying, I guess I actually heard Kyle Gray speak the other day. If you don't know who he is, he's written like 8 books and he has 3 or 4 Oracle decks, and he's a really cool cat. He's Scottish, so he's fun to listen when he speaks because he's got a great accent. And he's young. I think he's in his 30s, total starseed. And he was saying something like he doesn't believe, like people say that things happen for a reason. And I didn't agree with his full on what he was saying and how he was saying it, but I got to the point of something within myself, which was if we say that everything happens for a reason, then we believe that we're not in control to some degree. Control is the wrong word. That we're not responsible. I mean, responsibility is the word. Everything that unfolds is happening because of our energy field. And again, that's not an easy thing to accept because we don't want to believe that the things that are not good in our lives are partially our co-creation. Now, please know that when I say this, there are karmic contracts and it's a very complicated energetic weave. I'm not saying that you deserve bad things coming your way at all. That's not what I'm saying. And oftentimes when we create these challenging unfoldings, we're creating from our inner child, meaning we've created energy between another person or a situation or work or whatever, even a car accident. You never know what all that fun's about. We create these energetics usually through the mistakes of the inner child, not feeling good enough, feeling fear, not being in integrity because of fear, right? All the things that we experience because of fear, oftentimes we create these very silly circumstances in our lives, no matter what they are. And trust me, I promise I've created my fair share of them. And I still yet, right, sit before you in this moment to say that it's okay, right? In order to create something new, we have to decide that we're going to heal that aspect of who we are and be patient with that aspect and love that aspect, because that aspect only created this, poop storm for us because of the fear, because of that energy of lack or less than, or not feeling as if we are in this energetic of worthiness. And I'm constantly reminding all of us, and of course myself, part of that as the channel comes through me, oh, Aurora, that's for you too. There is no greater than, and there is no less than. That's a miscreation, a manipulation that's happened throughout time space with humanity, right? Not just here, other places too, if you will. But they've already ascended through that piece. we're here to make sure that the ascension happens through that piece, because so many of you that I'm working with or that I know, or, family, friends, all of it, like, it stops with us. We're not going to allow the trauma, the silliness, the challenges that we've walked in with in this life to continue beyond us, right? It went through the generations, and we receive it and we say, and we're not carrying that forward. Not anymore. Now we can say thank you for the gift of that energetic, because you've shown me that I can overcome it, that I can bring divinity to it, that I can be my highest source self with it and not have to participate in the silliness of it, right? That's really, really important. So this is a time where we want to become incredibly more responsible with our energy, how we use it, how we share it, how we experience it, what we take in, what we put out, all of that, right? We're not looking to cord to anybody, to put expectations on anybody. And again, that's learned behavior. So be gentle. It's not going to be overnight necessarily. I mean, there's so many people out there that say that it could be. And while I don't disagree that it could be, there is a beauty in the growth, right? We're here to grow and evolve. We're not here to snap our fingers and say, okay, that part's done, let's move on to the next part, right? So it's both. Yes, we can quantum leap into a new reality, and we're meant to do that together with each other. Otherwise, there wouldn't be 8 billion of us as reflective mirrors all around us, right? You can't escape 8 billion people on the planet. I mean, you can, but it's really hard. So one of the suggestions on the list that I read, which I thought was super powerful from Lorna, was to write lists. Like, write the lists of the things that you desire to change, and then write a list of ways that you feel you can achieve that for yourself in small steps, right? Again, the leaps are desirable because we think we're going to be so happy when we get somewhere. We're really meant to experience the journey, because that's what evolution is. It's piece by piece. And again, that famous drawing of a ladder, 2 ladders. One person's climbing up rung by rung by rung and is at the very top of one ladder. And the other one is reaching up to get the rung, but it's too high for them to even reach it because the rungs are very, very far apart. We don't need the rungs to be far apart. We just need to take small steps, right? 90% of what we think today, we're going to think tomorrow. So if that's the truth, then what are we doing today to change tomorrow? What are we shifting in this now moment to bring towards tomorrow? Because again, when we start to experience trauma, we tend to revert to our past behavior, right? We tend to go backwards because there's comfort in the known. I know if I eat some coconut ice cream that I'm going to feel like inner child comforted by it. But what's starting to happen is that if I eat too much of it, it actually starts to not feel good anymore, because there's not a resonance in my body anymore with the density of that sugar, of that caffeine, of whatever it is that it gives me at first. My body gets overloaded with it now much more quickly than it did before. It's weird, right? Like, it's something I always did, and now that doesn't bring me comfort anymore. So it's like, okay, now what? What's next, right? So now the answer is, well, I just, spent all this money on these singing bowls. And I have Thunder Mountain outside my window. And I have, a drum on the wall behind me that I made actually in Mount Shasta. So, it's, yeah, so I have all of these tools. What am I using? What am I doing? What am I going to move towards to bring an elevation into my spirit? And not for nothing, you can hike and cry. You can bang a drum and cry. You can play the singing bowls and cry. Emoting is not the problem, right? It's in motion. And that's where we're meant to keep our emotions moving and not make them our address. And that's a task some days. And that's why having a spiritual practice to me is so imperative. Getting on the earth means automatically that whatever chakras are out of alignment, whatever energies are not mine, whatever thoughts in the collective consciousness that are buzzing in my brain, everything, it's like a vacuum. She just like, and you don't even have to ask. You just have to choose to open your heart to Mother Earth and her kingdoms of light. And it's just an automatic unfolding. Like it's not even, can you help me? It's like, whoa, wait a second. I feel like so much better simply because I opened my heart to the earth or to God or to the angels or to ascend. It's like, I don't have a preference over your choice of connection. Choose what's aligned for you. But it's really important because we are approaching times where things are going to get, we think the last couple of years were intense, but it's going to get squeezier and crunchier. That's all I can say. And it's not to make you afraid, and it's not to put you into any kind of panic. It's just going to get crunchier because there can't be change that we're here to be a part of without uber crunch. I mean, we're still in governmental systems around the world that are not really serving the people, right? We're still in banking systems and, stock markets, and all these things are still old paradigm. They need to shift. And we don't want them to crumble. We want them to shift. We want change to happen in pockets so that there is a new system being built before the old one starts to move away. Right? Gradual, again, way better than shock because we don't need shock. That's not going to serve our growth. We need, slow but steady incremental change. And part of that is going to be really staying in our center, following our guidance. I'm going to be here all the way with you, but I'm never going to tell you what to do. I'm never going to tell you what to do around voting or vaccinations or any of that. It's never going to be about that. It's always going to be coming back to your body, putting your hand on your heart and saying, what do I need to do? And if you can't find the answer in that moment, that means you're still all over here. So you're just going to keep coming back and saying, what do I need to do? Anytime I hold space for someone, and have them do this process where they just close their eyes, take 3 deep, gentle breaths, and put their hand on their heart and ask the question, they always get the answer. Now, they may not like the answer, or they may be afraid of the answer. They may not, trust themselves that they're receiving the answer. I think that's a big one. But the answer always comes. We always know what to do. We just might not like it, or it might not be, sometimes you get the answer, but it's not what you want to hear, right? Whatever that is. And that's a tough one. Change is uncomfortable. It's meant to be. And we love our creature comforts, and again, there's an energetic in the world that knows that, which is why there's so much fast food and ATMs and shopping online and all the ways to distract us from our source. And I am just as guilty of Amazon as anybody else. So I will not deny my Amazon. Or it even got worse because now there's something called Shopify where, anyway, don't worry about it. You don't need to know about all of that. But the point is that, as much as I am on my phone, which is a fair amount because, again, running my own business and trying to find ways to connect with people, part of that is also recognizing that my full-time job is to connect to my source. My full-time job is to navigate my emotional field. My full-time job is to observe my emotions, and when I can't observe them and I'm triggered and I'm like in the trigger, like it's my job to observe how I handled that or didn't handle that, and then how to love myself through the process of healing these broken pieces that aren't actually broken, right? The experience makes me believe that I'm broken, but if I can stop and anchor more of my source self into my being, I feel whole. I remember how whole I am. That's right. That's the peace. The peace is we are whole. We've forgotten and we've seen everything evidence to the contrary. So, in all fairness, it's not our fault. It's not about fault though anymore. Now it's about responsibility, right? And it's not about being fake with yourself. Feel what you feel. These planetary alignments really aren't going to let it happen any other way, just so you know. The United States is now in Pluto. It's just big shadow energy. It's revolutionary energy, right? And we're just at the beginning of entering into Pluto. We've got like a whole couple years hanging out in that energy. Wee, oh, right? It's gonna be big here. It's not going to feel comfortable. So how do you feel comfortable? How do you make yourself feel comfortable? What do you align to? What do you do to bring yourself into knowing that everything is going to be okay because it is, right? That's the bottom line. The bottom line is everything's going to be okay, but change is uncomfortable. So what do you do? And so part of what we're going to do today is this sorry, hang on one sec. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to see the message from Stan. So yeah, so it's just an awareness that we follow our guidance, and we're going to go into this meditation where we do some cord cutting. And I'm actually going to the reason why I brought it out, I'm not going to use it for the meditation, but I wanted everyone to see it. My dear friend John, he was a master wand maker. I mean, just like a Merlin master wand maker. Was a total white guy, but I swear walked with some crazy First Nation energy for sure. Like he remembered past life of this. I mean, he made the leather bags for them in very traditional way. He had a lot of galactic energy for sure. A lot of, I don't know, just everything. I considered him like my galactic dad because my father on Earth, while the most amazing human being, definitely didn't understand the spiritual journey. And I feel like John was like, oh, I totally get you, Aurora, because I'm doing this stuff. He was humble and sweet and kind. And I wanted you to see this because I want you to picture this energy of selenite as a sword, as a wand, as a cord cutting tool. I mean, if you want to see obsidian as well, that's another good one. I happen to not have any of the obsidian ones left. They were like really cool knives. I know Spencer's hiding one somewhere over there. Hoocha! Rock on. But yeah, it's just about letting go of some energy. Spencer, if you want to actually use your sword physically, I recommend it. Cool beans. But I want you to all know that I'm going to actually be, so as I create the container for meditation, and this is going to be evergreen. So even if you're watching this later, you'll feel it if you open your energy to it, because that is my intention. And I get a big yes on that. Ooh, hi, John. So it's an awareness that we're going to open up the field for this energetic piece to be a part of the clearing. So as I walk you through the process, this sword will be working with us. You have to remember, and I know it's hard to think of it this way, but if you've ever learned Reiki or any healing modality, there is no separation in the time-space continuum. We're constantly in a field of energy, and we just have to choose that field. So for instance, when I create this container of light that we're all choosing of our own volition or our own consciousness to enter, that means that in the time space, we've created a pocket. And in that pocket, we're going to do a process with a bunch of beings holding space with us and for us. And then as we go through the process, this tool will be a part of it infinitely in that pocket of space and time. That's the only way I know how to explain it. I'm not a quantum physicist, but I think you get the gist. So thank you all for being here. I'm not sure. I know that Stan is on YouTube live with us. I'm not sure who else is there, and I'm not even sure how to see it or figure it out. So I'm just gonna try and maintain everything on this aspect of things. And For those who couldn't be here in this moment, please know that you will receive the frequencies, and my deepest apologies for whatever reason. I'll have to figure out the technology before the next email goes out. I think I really just need, oh, I realized the mistake. I should have directed everyone to the website and not tried to link them directly into Zoom. Okay. And so thank you. I couldn't get that earlier because I was panicked and not grounded. See, there you go. Alrighty, kids. I welcome you to find yourself in a deeply relaxed, energetic, and hold on one sec because I hear Mr. Tippy Toes behind me. Finn, where are you? Yeah, I need you to come. And I need you to plots. Can you go up on your couch and plots? Please? Uppy, uppy? Are you going to sit here? Yeah, you can sit here. Can you lay down? Thanks. Thanks, sweetie poops. Thank you for holding space for the container. Yes, I love you. Okay. Okay, so we'll take 3 deep but gentle breaths and just settle into the space where you are. And if you feel energy in your body resisting in any way, shape, or form, just allow. Whatever is coming up, whatever thoughts come up, don't worry about it. This is a non-judgment zone. So you can always return back to your breath, or you can return back to the focus of your heart. But whatever's coming up, you can just acknowledge it. It's all good. It's all perfect. Okay, now also as I welcome in all of these beings of light and all this container that we're all working with, if I say anything that does not feel aligned for you, imagine for yourself a violet flame in front of you and just push that energy into the violet flame. I promise there are no beings that will be offended because they're all of the light. So, and if there are beings you want to call in, please call them in on your behalf, okay? I work with some very specific energies and then some very general energies, and it's all of us. We're all woven in the same source. So whatever aligns for your highest, you call that in. So I'm going to welcome in Archangel Michael, Lord Metatron, Melchizedek, and Saint Germain to please be the 4 pillars of light in this room, in this home, on this property, as above, so below. And I thank you, beloveds, for your presence, for your protection, for your love. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And from this space, I welcome in all of our ancestors from all time, space, dimension. Our ancestors are our wisdom keepers. They also prayed for us to be here for this time and space so that we could be a part of this great shift. So we thank you, beloveds. Oh, the ancestors, wow, they have really come in. That's beautiful. Thank you, beloveds, for your presence. We're going to welcome in all of the angels, the archangelics, the seraphim, the cherubim, the Elohim of peace, the El Shaddai, the White Brotherhood and Sisterhood of Light. Thank you, all angels, all of the angelic realm that show up on our behalf as we go through this evolutionary process. And we're going to welcome in all of the ascended ones, those who have mastered being in human form and have seeded Christ consciousness or crystalline consciousness on this earth. We thank all of the ascendeds for their presence. And we're going to welcome in all of our star brothers and sisters, the star nations, our galactic families. Thank you, thank you, thank you, beloveds, for your presence. It's a full house, kids. We got a lot of energy building right now. We're going to ask the diamond, platinum, plasma light of source to be a capstone as above. And we thank you, Source, for this day, for this gathering, for this time together, for this community, and for all that we have. We have so much, and we thank you. And we're going to welcome in so below Gaia Sophia as a soul. And Earth is her body. And we thank you, Gaia, for welcoming us in, calling us to be here on Earth for this ascension process. And we welcome in all the kingdoms of Gaia, the crystal kingdom, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, the elements, the elementals, the devas, all seen and unseen realms of Gaia, inner earth, middle earth, all the guardians. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you, we thank you for your presence. We thank you, Gaia, for your sustenance and all that you give to us. And we welcome in the diamond, platinum, plasma light of source to be so below, right? So we have a capstone above us and below us, placing us in an octahedron or a diamond-shaped geometry that allows us to be completely encapsulated in divine protection, divine love, divine grace. And we give deep gratitude for all who are present in this moment. And I would love for you to just close your eyes and see in your mind's eye a beautiful rose gold light at the heart chakra. As if you're breathing in this beautiful light, and as you breathe it in, you're feeling it in your entire physical vessel. You're feeling it connect to all that you are as a physical being. All of your systems, the 33 discs of your spine, your organs, your bones, your blood, just experiencing this rose gold light all throughout your beingness. And as you continue to breathe in this beautiful rose gold light, allowing it to move through your emotional field, so that as you inhale the light on the exhale, you just feel the expansion of light all around you. And through your mental field, and now through the etheric field. And as you're breathing in and expanding through all of this rose gold light, we're going to anchor some light deep into Mother Gaia through the base of the spine, the bottoms of the feet. The more grounded we are with Gaia, the more light we can hold. Good. Now seeing in your mind's eye your entire energy field as if you are observing it from the outside. So looking at your physical vessel, your emotional body, your mental body, your etheric body, and looking at it, allow there to be a red light in any of the places and spaces where there may be misaligned energy for you. And if you can't see anything, you may sense it with your knowing. You may actually feel it around you, where there may be some energy that either doesn't belong to you or some old energy pattern that may be keeping you stuck. Just seeing it as a bright red light. I'm noticing several places in my physical body, several places in my emotional field, also the mental field. You don't have to know who or why. Don't allow yourself to get caught up in why they're there. It's just noticing that they are there. Good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring in the energy of this selenite wand, the selenite sword, and we're going to first bring it over, starting at the feet. I want you to see in your mind's eye as if the sword is right in front of you. And we're going to go from the feet slowly up to the knees, up to the hips, up to the heart, up to the throat, up and over the crown, to the nape of the neck, to the shoulders, moving slowly down the spine, to the base of the spine, to behind the knees, and back to the feet. And that was just the physical body. Now we're going to move in the same motion once again, starting at the feet, but now with the emotional body. Slowly bringing the selenite sword over the entire frontal energy of your emotional body, and then up and over to the back of your emotional body. Remembering that all of our energy is dimensional. And if it feels like the sword gets stuck somewhere, you can give it a little extra time. Let it move at its own pace. It's meant to be a gentle but firm unfolding. We are creating boundaries, healthy boundaries, taking responsibility for our energy, releasing pieces that don't belong to us. Maybe they never did. They could be generational, familial. Good. We're now going to start at the feet once again. And if you're not done yet, don't worry. Keep going. We're going to go to the mental field. We are calling on our sovereign source self. And as the selenite energy goes up, over and around our entire energetic field, we release everything less than sovereign. We release ourselves from collective consciousness and we return to unity consciousness. And what I'm seeing now is that in the etheric field, Source is simply going to gift us the diamond platinum light through the crown and over our entire energy field. It's coming down like glitter, very soft, sweet, high vibrational frequency. Narhia wawa antia yahia yoko ma ashur paatsa iya yaka. Nora aya hiaya yo, ma orba andara eya ka, sar uba ish ya antie. Nahaya wa iya ko, arbia wa chandor atsake, nahuya yatsako ma eya. Nahia ya joka bayorba aka lalush. Nahia yo. Yo. We know that it is very easy to forget who you are in this realm, and at the same time, that you remember is why you came. You chose to enter into these physical vehicles with these unfoldings on your journey for the sole purpose, soul and soul purpose, the only purpose and the purpose of the soul, to remember, incarnate as love, as light, the journey back to the heart. There are many things that can take you off this path, and that is also okay, but you did choose to be here, so we are with you. Don't forget that we are with you. Come back to us, come back to your heart, to your love. We are always available for you and with you. We walk with you, and we are as far away as the breath, as the beat of the heart, as a thought. We love you. We honor you. We are always with you. There is a Star Nation being that is stepping forward and offering a diamond frequency, but it's a frequency, but it does look like a diamond. It's being offered at the heart chakra. If you feel aligned to receive this frequency, this gift, please do so now. Seeing now in your mind's eye a beautiful gold and green light, emerald green and gold, beginning at the crown and weaving a cocoon of integration, alignment, ease, grace, and love all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. And when you feel this process is complete, you may open your eyes and come back to the space. Calling you back. Anybody there? Hi. I'm itching. I'm at the itchy part. Yeah, it's driving me nuts. All right, so you're on YouTube, so I know, like, if I ask, it's a loaded question, but does anyone want to share anything? And if not, that's okay too. Where you want to go, Finn? You want to come up here and say hi to everybody? No? Okay. He sat down again anyway. All right. But everybody's good? 2 thumbs up? Everyone's back in their body at least? Okay, that's good. All right, that's okay too. You know, take time. Yeah, it's that's a powerful group of beings for sure. It was big because normally I feel like one group more than the other, and this was like everybody. When the ancestors showed up, I was like, oh, so it's going to be like that. Because then the angels, it was that big, and the ascendeds, and then the star beings. The star beings usually I see the most of, if you will, but it was pretty packed house tonight. And when I say house, I don't mean my house. So that was fun. And you know, again, it's always so much love. It's so funny. There's this urgency feeling I get sometimes from the light language that comes through, but it's not really. It's not meant to come through urgent. It's just meant to come through like believe in yourself. Know that it is possible, and that's what you've come here to do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, right? You'd be in another galaxy, on another planet, swimming with dolphins, living in ease and grace and joy. Wait, why did we come here again? No, but really, you know, we can do it. Like, we can do it. We came here to do it. That's why we're here. And we wouldn't be here if we couldn't. I think that's a big awareness or message, you know? We have the tools, we have each other, and the potentiality is great. So, the focus, that's the big thing. Focus is the big thing. Where we focus our energy, where we focus our intentions. What are our intentions? Tonight was just about clearing. It wasn't about, you know, what you need to do with that. Tonight was just about saying, okay, I'm going to do this to shift my energy. And that's important. That's to me just as important, right? It's like the first step is saying, oh, I might have some wonky stuff going on in my energy field. So now from this clear place, I can hear my guidance. Wait a second, what's that like? Right? And don't think that I don't do this on a regular basis. To me, that's kind of what the bowls are for as well. And this is my 3rd event in 3 days. So I feel super clear right now. It's actually kind of fun. It reminds me how much I just love doing this with groups. But it's, you know, the more frequently we work with these energies, the more we feel them. You know, it's like opening a door and then opening it a little wider and then opening a little wider because it builds on a foundation, or at least that's my experience. So thank you all for being awesome, showing up and being here. I am grateful. And for all of you who just got harassed by emails by me, I'm really sorry. I totally did it wrong. I should have sent out the link to my website and not the link to Zoom. I will get better, I promise. Sorry, everybody. And lots of loves. Until next time.